That's how I can sum up all of my months working with Chris. But my name's Austin Medlin. I'm the co-founder of closesales.com. I've been a serial entrepreneur pretty much my entire life. And from the outside looking in, by the world's standards, I would say that I was super successful, right? Like anyone who didn't really know me and could just look at the material things and the freedom and the money and things like that, man, he's got it made. He's super successful. And I guess I was, or I am, but the problem was the outside world and the money you have and the things you can do and the freedom, like that's all cool. But mentally, if inside you're just perishing and you're just in turmoil and you're just miserable, none of that stuff really matters. And if you're watching this video and maybe you are successful, right? Maybe you are an entrepreneur, maybe you are doing well according to the world, you have that good job, you built that good company, but mentally inside you're not doing so hot. I bet you would agree with me that you would trade all of that money and all of that success and everything you have just to feel better mentally, right? And so for me, I was in a broken marriage that very soon after hiring Chris, he never told me to leave the marriage. But when I made that investment in myself, I realized that I was settling for less and I wasn't being treated well and I deserved more. So that investment really started this positive flywheel in the right direction where these dominoes just started to fall. And that first domino was me having the courage after being treated like shit year after year after year and being taken advantage of finally standing up for myself and saying, you know what, I'm taking a stand for my mental health. I've just made this investment to work with Chris and I'm not going to keep being treated like this. And I walked out of an 8-year relationship. And then from there, it gave me the courage to do deeper inner work, to start to figure out who I wanted to be and what I wanted from my life. It started helping me calm the anxiety that for so long was just crippling and just gripping my life so tightly. I started walking around just so much lighter, session after session after session with Chris. I just became lighter and lighter and lighter. And by the end of our time together, divorce done, already in a new relationship that I didn't rush into, but I really took my time with Chris to manifest who I am and who I want to attract. And lo and behold, the literal perfect partner, a woman that I've always wanted my entire life. Like I've written pages of notes about this woman and she appears. I just attracted her into my life. I left a consulting gig where I was doing really well to launch a new company from the ground up to scale that from zero to $1 million a month, probably in the next 12 to 24 months. Just everything, my relationship with my family, my relationship with myself, my relationship with my higher power, like everything has just changed in an astronomical way. There's not a single thing in my life, from my fitness to my mental health to my relationships to my business, my finances, there's not a single thing that hasn't changed. And I can look at each of those things and I can pinpoint, Chris and I talked about that here. Chris helped me work through that there. So it's been an incredible experience working with him. And I think as me being a hyper masculine driver personality, male, we can be super hard headed sometimes. And I know I was. You just like to say, I got all my shit together, right? Like even when I booked a call with Chris, in the notes, I was like, I'm in a great relationship. I make a ton of money. Life is good. I'm just struggling with this one thing. And it's like, we looked back on that and laughed. It's like, we try and posture like life is so good and things are so perfect when really we're struggling and we're suffering. And it's okay as masculine men to reach out for help and to invest in that help, to have someone who's where we want to be support us in getting there. I mean, I'm so happy I made that investment. I wouldn't be where I am today without it. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about it, do it. It'd be the best money you've ever spent. I guarantee it, because hoarding the money and holding on to the money just keeps you stuck where you're at. And if you're watching this video and you're thinking about working with Chris, you're probably not in the best place. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get that help. But if you're going to go invest in that help, I'd recommend it to be with Chris every day of the week.